This land is your land. This land is my land. From California, well, to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf.
Welcome to Markie's World. I'm your host, Markie Shinn, and today I'm here in the magnificent dental, where we had to say
Roseland Dental Van. There you go.
Roseland Dental Van, and who I have here with me is Antoine. Antoine, introduce yourself and tell us what your part is in this.
All right, so my name is Antoine Belt. I am the program manager for the dental program at Roseland Community Hospital. To my right here, Lori Gross. He's a dental hygienist and also my assistant manager. Go ahead, Lori, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lori
Speak up a little
Gross.
higher so that
I
you can
am the assistant manager of the dental van, and to my right is Dr. Camacho.
Dr.
Hello,
Camacho.
everyone.
Now, can you see Dr. Camacho? Oh, okay, Dr. Camacho. Now, when did this all originate? Oh, wait a minute, come here. Would you bring my friend out here?
Yes, this is our
And
assistant.
the other one.
These are our dental
Come on,
assistants.
girl.
Miss Joanna and Miss
What's your
Ariana
name?
will be joining us.
This is Joanna. Hello.
And
She's
Ariana.
part of this wonderful experience that we're here. And Alana.
Ariana.
Ariana. Okay, come
Ariana
over here.
is joining us shortly. Yes.
I just want the city of Chicago to be able to see all the wonderful people that are here in this van. And you all are doing a wonderful service to people. So, now tell me something. Antoine, how did all this come about?
Well, it came about, my CEO, Tim Egan, he approached me with an idea of, for the dental van, and it was just, this dental van here was just sitting in a garage, and so we purchased the van last year around August,
Oh, wow.
and I went to go pick it up, and then I just kind of like started getting the team together. It took a little time, and then I met Lori here back in, I want to say late February, beginning of March, and then we just started assembling the team.
Yeah, because you all have a really good team that works together, because I've met you all before.
Yes.
But Joanna, she's an addition to the team, so she just started with us maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, so, but that's just because of the high influx of valuable folks that we've been seeing. So we've been kind of going everywhere. Aurora, Joliet, you see we over here on 82nd and South Shore, just different areas around the city of Chicago and also in the state of Illinois.
Okay, and is this related to Roseland?
Yeah, this is Roseland Community Hospital, so this is just like it's the same, it's the same, it's just a separate entity. So we're jumping into dental, and we're just trying to get out there into the Roseland community and also all the other communities surrounding Roseland to let them know that, we have the dental van on the south side of Chicago.
Okay, and now, who are some of the people that you get? How does that
Well,
come about?
Well, we kind of go out there. We like foot soldiers, all of us.
This is free?
Yeah, as it sits right now, we work through a grant, so it's pretty much free for the folks that we see. So we're just starting, it's still in its infancy as it sits right now, but we're trying to get to the restorative care. Dr. Camacho will be talking about that.
Okay, now,
I might have a visitor coming on.
Dr. Camacho.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I wanted to ask you,
Yes, ma'am.
what are some of the major dental problems that you incurred?
Okay, so most of the major problems that we've seen so far, and we try to reach out to the younger community. We're talking daycares. We go out and see children. We prefer 2 and up, but we will see youngsters also. We want to avoid baby bottle caries and excuse us, early childhood decay.
Dr. Camacho?
Camacho.
Camacho. Okay. Now, when did you join the team, or did you join the team when it first began?
No, I was not with the team when it first began. This wonderful hygienist here, Miss Lori, reached out to me, and we found each other, and then we had an interview process, and I really liked the idea of what Roseland Community Hospital has in mind of going out to the underserved communities, people that would otherwise not be helped or afford these services, and we go out to them, and we're on wheels. We go north, south, east, west, suburbs. You need us, we're there. We reach out, and it's our great pleasure to come out and serve the underserved community who would otherwise not be able to afford it, or a lot of the single moms that are too busy with their jobs. We reach out to daycares. We go out and we come to them. We're on wheels, so that we're providing them a service that perhaps their children would not attain otherwise.
Now, who are some of your targeted customers?
We don't really have a targeted per se audience. We'll go anywhere. We'll go, like I mentioned.
So any age?
Any age. We prefer 2 and up, but we will see the young kiddies also. But we do see adults, children, seniors. We want to incorporate the super senior citizens and reach out maybe to some of their homes. That's something that Mr. Tim Egan at the Roseland Hospital is very interested in pursuing at the moment.
Now, with you said 2 and up.
Yes, ma'am.
I've heard of children 2 years and under having cavities.
Yes, ma'am, and it is not unusual. I believe.
Where does that come from?
It becomes an issue of the parent not understanding the proper way to feed the child at nighttime. The child will be crying and things like that. They'll put them to bed, stuff a bottle in their mouth, and that's not really the way to address the problem, because the bottle contains sugars that may deteriorate over time the health of the teeth.
Yeah, so because people are not aware that
they are not aware.
Babies can get cavities.
Yes,
in their
early
mouth.
childhood caries, it's called. And
Yes.
we want to avoid that, and every time we see a young parent, single mom, etc., even at the daycares, we try to instruct the people in charge to maybe they introduce brushing during the day, etc.
Okay, so, and then with the children, let's go with these little, when they make 6 years old,
Yes.
their teeth get knocked
Teeth
out.
start
Would
to
you
fall
please
out.
explain
Yes,
that?
they do.
Explain
And
that
the
to us.
parents get scared and they say, what's going on? Sometimes they'll see 2 rows of teeth at the bottom and they say, what's going on with my child? Or they see 2 rows of teeth at the top and they start to freak out. But really, a lot of it is normal. Not all of it, so that's why you always want to go and check with your dental provider if you have any questions. But it's commonly just they're growing up. They're going from their early dentition to their adult dentition, and that's why nutrition is also of great importance. We've got to reduce the snacking. We've got to introduce more fruits, more vegetables, reduce the cookies, candies, chips, snacks, things that we all love, but we've got to teach moderation, parents out there.
So, but they do lose their teeth when they're about 5 or 6.
Yes, at
Or
about
is that when
some
they
as
start
early as 4, 5, 6, and all the way until about 14, 15. Some retain them until 16, and it's just something a very long time while we're growing. Our body's growing. It needs nutrition. It needs calcium, etc.
Can you explain to me what wisdom teeth actually are?
Wisdom teeth are
What that
wonderful
process is.
third molars way in the back, and a lot of times they will cause a little bit of pain. Now you can get this as early as 12 years old, 13 and up, but it's more commonly found at about 17, 18, 19, around that age, and you'll start to get a little possible pain sensation, and usually you'll go to the dentist, have a panoramic x-ray taken, and they can diagnose whether your wisdom teeth are coming in properly or whether they need to be extracted perhaps, or any other kind of preventive measure.
Now, let me ask you this question too. If you have a cavity
Yes, ma'am.
and the cavity is infected,
Yes.
now can that be very dangerous for a person?
Yes, cavities are not only something that runs rampant throughout the world, and all of us possibly at some time or another have had one, but they run in sizes too. They can be small, medium, large, extra large, and they can also be to the point of too late, where we need extractions. We can get infections. We can need root canals, and this is bacteria that can run through our bodies, and if our immunization system is already decreased, we can end up being hospitalized for such a reaction.
Yeah, I heard that it can lead to death as well.
It
Because I
can.
don't know.
It's just some different levels of severity. But again, this is why you want to see your healthcare professional regularly,
Like
so they
you.
can diagnose. Yes, like me. If I'm in your neighborhood and you see the Roseland dental van, come on in. Knock at the
Yes.
door, and we'd be more than happy to see you. There's never a fee for any of our services, and you're more than welcome to knock and see if we're available.
See that? Isn't that so wonderful?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how often are you all out? When you come out, you're out all day long, or?
Well, today it's a double event, so we were at a different location earlier today.
Oh yeah, you said.
So around about 9 to 1, and then we made our way over here around 2. So some days we do 2 events, some days we do 1 event. It all depends on. So that's our commitment, right? So we go to 1 event, and then we go to another one.
Oh.
Because the need is all over Chicago and all over the world.
It
honestly,
definitely is.
We can't spread that thin, but
The need far outweighs
Yeah,
the services
it sure
that we
does.
can provide.
I'm gonna have to get your number. Anyway.
Yes.
This is our new addition.
This
to
is
the
our
crew
newest
here.
addition, Miss Joanna.
You introduced yourself, sweetie. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did. Well, say it again, just in
I'm
case.
Joanna. I recently started working here about 15 days ago.
Oh, she's really
Very
good.
nice.
You like it? How do you like it?
I do like it. It's something different, something new.
You meet different people.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But along with meeting the different people, you also see how the cavities are affecting our community. Something that possibly a lot of the world out there doesn't know. We see different levels of decay. We see different levels of questions being asked, different levels of knowledge on nutrition, different levels of knowledge on healthcare.
And let's not forget gum disease.
Let's not forget
let's
gum
not.
disease.
Now, what causes gum disease, and what are some of the ways to prevent
I'll let our
it?
hygienist, Miss Lori, here,
Well, Lori,
speak
first
more
tell
on
me,
that.
what started you into dental care?
So I've always been really interested in oral hygiene and just the health of the mouth. I know that your gums are your foundation, and so it's important to have a strong foundation. So anything that the doctor does, fillings, crowns, bridges, if your foundation is insecure, you're going to not have longevity with your dental work. So I started there and just trying to, promote better oral health. So I went to hygiene school for that after being a dental assistant for several years. And so after that, I also did teaching. So I taught dental hygiene.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, at Prairie State College for 6 years, just so I can help students understand the need in the community for good oral hygiene and not just being what we call a cleaning lady. You want to educate your patient, just don't want to clean the teeth.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Lori, tell us about what were we saying?
We're talking about
Gum disease.
or what we call periodontal disease.
Periodontal
So what happens is that if you go for a long period of time and you do not have your teeth clean, the bacteria grows on top of itself and it accumulates and it acts like a armor or coating on the teeth. And so what
is that
happens?
plaque?
That's plaque.
Plaque on top of plaque on top of plaque.
Turns into what?
Right, it turns into calculus.
There you
And
go.
our
Yes.
fancy word for that buildup, and that affects the gums very negatively. It's almost as that feeling is equivalent to probably like when you feel a rock in your shoe, that's what your gums are feeling. They don't like that feeling. They want that out of there. So then when they start to bleed, that's their signal to you saying, please take me to a dentist. I need some attention.
That's when they're asked, sometimes you hear these questions, they ask, are you having
Bleeding, right.
bleeding gums?
Yes.
Oh,
Bleeding
okay.
is your
And
gums
so-
telling you, please help me.
Yes.
Please clean me better. Or they may be too late. They may be at the point where they need a deep cleaning.
Yes.
And Miss Lori's going to talk to you about that.
Okay, Miss Lori.
So when we do a deep cleaning, what we do is we go along the gum line, sometime under the gum line, and we remove all the bacteria or the tartar from underneath and around the gums. That will promote health, but mainly what I wanted to talk about is just meeting Antoine, because because meeting Antoine has really changed my life.
Right,
Changed
and you know,
all of our
I have
lives.
to say this,
Yes.
that all of them, I've met all of them before, and they are very, very special people, especially Antoine.
Yes.
Very, very
Antoine
passionate.
And Lori and the doctor, they're all beautiful people that, this is a great team, a wonderful team. But go ahead and finish your
So what I was saying is that, so when I met Antoine and he told me about the vision, he and I came out here and we looked at the van and we talked about what the mandate was, just to go out into the community. Now Antoine and I both grew up in Roseland,
Oh,
so
okay.
this was very special to both of us.
Oh, yeah.
We also went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
Went to
wow. Did you
Bangor.
all know each other?
No.
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah, sure you did. Yeah.
He should- now wait a minute, hold on now. Which one is drinking? What's that? No. Yep.
Yes.
That was
So,
2002, so Lori,
Yeah.
go ahead, you want to reveal that, yeah.
yeah, so, but at really the end of it is that this is a service for the community, and Antoine and I are very passionate about going out and seeing, people who would not normally be seen in a dental office. And on that note, I want Antoine to talk a little bit about his experience in
sure.
dental, because
So-
that's what got me.
Yeah, so
So
for
listen.
me, I grew up on 10853 South State, and pretty bad in the Roseland community. My mother was disabled early on, and she never really took me to the dentist. So as you guys can see, my teeth are like misaligned, and I kind of like need reconstructive surgery in a sense. So for me, putting together the brochure that we currently use, pass out, that's like information for moms, dads, grandmas, whoever, so they can understand the importance, the need for dental. Because if we catch them early, then we can stop the cycle. We don't have to. The cycle doesn't have to continue. For me, it's just more education and getting it out there and let them know. For me, it's passion. We gotta end it. We have to get out there. So.
I've always had pretty teeth, white teeth and straight teeth. And then when I had radiation, I had cancer. And I lost 4 teeth. And I lost 4 teeth in 2 weeks. I was like, what the
Yeah.
They just can't. Well, so that's another story, but that's how I knew, and that's how I know now how important it is to really take good care. Now I'm on a mission for straightening out all these teeth, and I also eat a lot of sweets.
You gotta calm that down.
I do. I have to.
Calm that down a little.
I need real help. I need real help. It's like drugs. I need real
I think
help.
we all can take from this interview that we just got to get out into the community. It's just one of those. Dental is one of those things that people don't normally talk about.
Right.
We talk about Medicaid and Medicare, going to the doctor on the regular, but you never hit dental. So for us to be in Roseland and come from Roseland, and we have this van, we can go anywhere. We can keep spreading that knowledge and that that awareness that we need it.
Now, do they have insurance?
Yeah, so we'll build insurance where we can build insurance. Are we going to turn them away
Right.
for examination and cleaning? No, we're not, because it's one of those things that's needed. Dr. Camacho and Lori, we went to Aurora, Illinois, and the Hispanic community out there. Man, they've never seen a dentist before, and they had a lot of build up and a lot of calculus and things on their team. So they were very fortunate that we came out, and it was very appreciative. So. We just try to get out there, It's Roseland, and people see us in Roseland, but we everywhere. We on wheels, like Dr. Camacho said. We can go everywhere.
Dr. Camacho,
Yes, ma'am.
what would you tell people for preventive care? What to do? Some of the things to avoid, or just a bottom line. And then I would like for you to show us around this wonderful place.
Sure. Well, at the end of the day, we've all got to think about, we want to keep our smiles, we want to keep our teeth for as long as possible, and we can. It's the year 2019. We've got to concentrate on not pulling teeth out, but trying to save them, trying to fix them, trying to keep them until the old age. But that all starts young. It all starts with educating our children on what they should eat, what they shouldn't eat, how to brush, when to brush, how often to brush, and actually visualizing and keeping an eye on them. Don't just send them to the bathroom and say, go brush, because a lot of them might go and just play with the water, etc., and say, Mommy, I brushed, but Mommy, I didn't brush. So keep an eye on your children. Make sure they're brushing. I always say 3 times a day. Every television commercial will say 2 times a day, but I'm a big advocate on 3. The lower time spent with food particles and beverages on the teeth, that's gonna keep them cleaner. And so I'm an advocate of 3 times a day brushing, 2 to 3 minutes, using your mouthwash, using your rinses, using your floss, and watching the nutrition. Adults also, we've got to get off the sodas, we've got to get off of the coffee, tea, sugars that are affecting us negatively, coating our teeth constantly all day long. We can't be a generation of sipping and sipping and sipping that coffee and that soda, because that is going to corrode our teeth.
Now coffee corrodes teeth.
Coffee, tea, and soda.
I just assumed that coffee would.
There's a lot of sugars in coffee.
brown.
Some of them put 7, 8 sugars in their coffee. And in addition to, even if you tell me, Dr. Camacho, I don't add sugar to my coffee, but coffee also stains your teeth
It does.
a very dark shade of yellow.
Teas too.
Yes, coffee, tea, sodas, and the acidity associated with, yes. So we've got to be more conscious about what we're intaking, and also our children, please.
Okay, is there anything else that you all would like to say? I want you to say everything, because I want everybody to know so much about you all. I know we don't have that much time, but
Well, that's one thing I want to say.
What?
One more thing. Well, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for Tim Egan's vision. You know, he
what's his name?
Timothy Egan, we call him Tim.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him. He saw the need years ago. I think back in 2013, the inception of this band. They had a big old press release at Roseland Hospital, Aldenville, you know, Kerry Austin, different ones in the Roseland community, in the Pullman area were the ones that came out to support. So they saw the need very early, and like I said, he came to me with the idea. I went to school to get my CDL specifically for this band.
Wow.
And I just kept going.
Well, I'm glad that you really did, because it's all for all of our children in every neighborhood. You know, some neighborhoods need it more than others. And when I saw you, remember when I met you? When I saw you, and they were so nice. They let me come in and look around and talk to them.
You had your cell phone, you know, battery died. Yeah, your battery died, you know.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It was yesterday. I don't forget nothing.
Yeah, so I knew it was something.
Yeah, I know, right?
I knew it was special, something really special about Antoine. He is so unique and so different, and Lori as well, and the doctor. And so, can we take a look around and get some of the little things?
Yes. Joanna?
Show some of the. Can you? Well, I guess can you put the camera over here?
So this is our patient chair. These are our side sections that we clean the patient's teeth.
Bring it in here. Bring the camera in here. Take a picture of me. Now, don't look at my mouth.
No, we won't. Just smile. And Dr. Camacho, maybe you could just...
Dr. Camacho, you stay away. I'm just kidding.
This is the dentist side. His tray with his instruments. Patients need
Where's the one that has the water? Do they still use that
This
water?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you were our patient, we would welcome you in this way, right? You would have a seat just like our wonderful assistant Joanna led you in, right? Then we would ask you to wear a pair of safety glasses, because we don't want anything happening to your eyes, right? Then we would come over, and I would roll on over right here to my side while my assistant, Ms. Joanna, gets you ready for me. And what that would consist of, she would put on your patient bib, right? Just so you don't wet your nice, wonderful outfit. And we would get you ready like that. We would clip this onto you.
Okay.
And you would rest your head back just like that. And then we start to tilt you back, getting you ready for our examination.
I know.
And so then what
you
comes
already-
next, you already know. You've been to the dentist many times. We would
No, actually, I've never been to the dentist before. I have to go to a psychiatrist first.
Right. We would glove up, right? Because, you know, we've got to do health precautions. We'd glove up. We'd wear our masks. And then we'd take our sterilized instruments that we forgot to mention. We also have a sterilizer on the van.
Yes, I saw
So there's never a time that we run out of instruments. We don't ever reuse instruments. It's always clean, clean, clean environment. So we have our sterilized instruments. We would rip that open. You see the mouth mirror explorer in there.
Yeah.
We would complete her full exam with our lights. We've got a light going, and we would examine the young lady, and then Ms. Joanna charts everything down. Anything we need to discuss with you, you're free to ask any questions that you may have, however significant or insignificant you may feel they are. We answer everything. Children have a lot of funny questions. Sometimes adults have a lot of funny questions, but we answer them all. We don't discriminate anyone. We see all ages, all sexes, everybody. So everyone's welcome. This is a wonderful program that Mr. Tim Egan has allowed us to partake in. And Antoine, God bless him, he's
God
out
bless
there,
him.
and he forgot to mention he's our driver.
Yeah.
It's hard to drive this thing. It's very big, so he's doing a great job maneuvering this thing all around the city of Chicago, east, north,
Wow.
south, west. We're there, suburbs, and he goes, and there's a lot of viaducts that he's got to watch out for, and he does
And then
it all.
parking. What is he doing on parking?
Parking. Sometimes we've got to help him, but he's pretty good on the parking. He's pretty good. He's got a lot of years under his
No
belt.
tickets.
No tickets,
Okay.
and safety first always.
I can't see anybody
Safety
giving him
first always.
tickets.
But it's a wonderful program that we're trying to reach out and bring all of America healthcare, and it's a wonderful thing. No fee for now. Hopefully for the future it stays that way. We do plan to provide more services for the future. Hopefully some extractions, hopefully some fillings, etc. It's a new program, but all it's going to do is grow and grow through the wonderful imagination of Mr. Antoine Belt and Mr. Tim Egan.
And that's, I am so glad and thankful, but I wouldn't have thought that would come up out of Roseland. Roseland has to let people know that they're
Right,
doing
exactly.
so many
And
things.
it is something also that I mention all the time about Roseland. Roseland has a very bad reputation,
Yeah.
but I'd love to see some good press because it's wonderful things that we're trying to reach out and do and provide wonderful services.
Well, I'm impressed because I'm a nurse, and Roseland was one of the places that I went to for my I can't think of the name of it when I had to do classes up in there. That's one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I had the experience wasn't that great, but this was, you know, I'm kind of old, so this was some
We're not going to mention
decades
that.
ago.
Right. We don't have to talk
this
dates.
was decades ago. But when you're doing something like this for the community, you really need to let people know that this
Yes.
is, you know, that this is what's going on. I didn't know anything about it until I ran into Antoine, you and
correct.
Antoine. So it's just something that you need to really kind of, you know,
Put out there.
Yeah, put out there more. And
Absolutely.
So this is one of our parts.
Yes.
We're doing.
And we
putting it out there.
appreciate you for coming out and taking the time to have a little walkthrough with us and meet us all. And we do thank you. All the team thanks you,
Don't
Mr.
you like him? Look at
Antoine,
him.
Ms. Lori,
Yes.
Ms. Joanna, Ms. Ariana. We all thank you for coming out from the bottom of our hearts to yours. Come see us.
I'm gonna have to put him. I have to take him with me everywhere I go because he is wonderful. How are you? You are great. I'm gonna have to.
Thank you, darling.
you in the movies
Let me
with me.
sit you back up.
Wonderful.
All right.
That is so.
So
So thank you,
That's a wrap.
everybody. That's a wrap. Thank
that's
you.
a wrap.
This land is your land. This land is my